A lot of us have our lives set up in a linear timeline where you were born and then you die, and then there's these markers in between, these milestones that you got to go through and you got to knock them down, right? And each time you knock a milestone down, your value shoots up as a human being. And now you're finally worthy of telling a story, of admiration, of attention. When you go to the party, you have a story to tell. You have a story to tell yourself about your value. Once you make over $100,000 a year, once you get engaged, once you get married, once you finally have that beautiful 25-year mortgage, you have a place in the world. And you can show the world that, look, I'm part of it now. Look at me. I've done it. And we get so obsessed with these milestones. And for the most part, this is the way it happens. And you can't, even if you live the most creative and spontaneous life, eventually, most people find partners, most people have a house, most people then have children, and so on and so on. But what we notice is the spaces in between all of those milestones takes up most of the time. The vast majority of the time. Between now and the moment that you maybe find the love of your life, what are you doing? Why aren't you happy? And a big thing about happiness is it's a lot easier to be happy when you're not expecting things to always be different. Because you haven't reached the milestone and you're not there to tip it over, I can't give myself permission to be happy. I haven't accomplished. I haven't reached it yet. And we've been told this lie that the older you get, first of all, the more serious you have to become. And wow, what a way to live. The older you get, the more responsibility you take on. Between responsibility and seriousness, I don't see the connection. And people believe that seriousness is completely meshed with maturity. And that's complete bullshit too. So I'd like you to think about that this week. But in between the milestones, let's say the event of getting a house, the event of a wedding, the event of that party when you retire. These take up 72 hours at a time. And in between, there's thousands and thousands and thousands of hours. Why aren't you happy then? I get up in the morning, and I'm not going to give you my morning routine like some cuck on YouTube or Instagram. 4 a.m., and then I have my AG1 greens, and then I do 20 push-ups, get 10 minutes of sunlight, ground myself. Commonsense.com, check it out. All right. I wake up in the morning, and a lot of the time, I am genuinely in awe of the world. It's crazy. It's crazy. I don't even know how I'm 6 floors up right now. How is this building holding me? This is crazy. And it's been this way my whole life, in awe of simple things. And if you think a tree is simple, think again. But I look at the oranges and yellows as I walk down the street, and you just tilt your head up and you see the beauty of the moment as it just unfolds in front of your dang eyes. I was at my parents' last weekend, and they have a shower in the basement, and it's in a corner, and you have like the rounded plexiglass, and the door closes, and I squeegee the glass after each shower, and I love squeegeeing the glass. And it has like these rivets in the plexiglass, so it's like, and you see the fog disappear with the squeegee, and the water comes down. These simple moments are most of what life is. The 99% of life is you getting up in the morning, you having a coffee, you making breakfast, you walking down the street, you commuting, you're driving, you're talking to your mom, your dad, your siblings, your wife, your husband. You're doing laundry, you're making your bed, you're vacuuming. This is life. The milestones that we think of take so little time, and by the time you reach those milestones, you realize, well, there's another one to be had, so here's the other gap between this one and this one. And what you do in those gaps is living. So to enjoy the mundane, what people advertise as a normal life, this is the gold. This is the gold. For me, it's not that difficult to be amazed. I'm building a house with a buddy, and it's been like 2 years, drywalling last week, and we were doing some taping and painting the baseboards, and walking to get a sandwich at Paris Cafe down the street. And I realized, we were talking about Tesla. That's these Tesla robots. I'm like, man, yeah, Tesla's coming out with these robots. It looks like iRobot, but they're moving a little rigid. Like, I don't know. Great, do my dishes and it'll take you 45 minutes. And so we're talking about Tesla, the future of robotics. We get a sandwich. We come back, and these guys are doing the sidewalks. And they're putting concrete on making new sidewalks. And I looked to Kyle and James and was like, you guys know that when they're making sidewalks like that, you know the grip, the lines you see on the sidewalks, that little grip texture, you know they just use a corn broom for that? They just use a corn broom. And here I thought it was some machine and all this, but it's just a broom. Can you believe it? And James was like, Scott, you got so excited for the corn broom and not even as excited for Tesla putting robots into the world. I was like, I know, the corn broom is so exciting. It blew my mind. There's an interesting thing, like, I don't know if you can teach curiosity. You can teach a child or teach an adult to ask questions, but the genuine feeling of curiosity and seeking and awe, I believe that can be cultivated, but it's pretty innate in people. And I think the people on this channel have that gift, or else you wouldn't watch these videos. Because with that gift comes sensitivity, and with that gift comes a bit of fear and anxiety and a lot of tentacles that our body puts out there, and we can feel what's going on around the world. But with that gift, you can explore it and bring your tentacles in a little bit and just sense the environment just immediately around you and take it in. And for me, that's happiness. Does it work all the time? No, sometimes I'm in a terrible mood, and you just got to do what you got to do and move on. For sure. You wash your hands clean of the previous day, and that's it. You got to move on. Like, I got this. This is what I asked for my birthday. We got History, National Geographic. I'm on the plane. I'm on a flight tomorrow, 4-hour flight. And man, I'm going to learn about Nero's reign of terror, bloodthirsty Roman emperor, medieval castles, fortresses built for war. This is amazing. The tomb of St. Peter, unearthing the Vatican. I can't wait to read this. This is my adventure. This is what I'm happy about. And I wonder what small things bring you happiness. And is there a sense of guilt that something so small can't make you happy? Have you been told, which we all have, that only the milestones will make you happy? Only the milestones will give you value. Well, the beautiful thing about human beings, from a Christian perspective and Jewish perspective, being made in the image of God means we have innate value just by being a human being. We have value already just by existing. And I'll ask you, the book of James too. The book of James is like, it's only 2 pages. I highly recommend it. It's supposed to be one of the earliest writings in the New Testament. And James is like, listen, it's not just by faith. It's by your works too. Put your faith into action. So if you see a rich dude come in and you're like, please have a seat, sir. Would you like a water? Would you like a tea? Let me take your coat. And then you see a poor person come in and you say, stand over there. Don't come too close. Bow at my feet. We're already dictating who has more value than the other. That's not what Christianity is all about. It is you, my friend, regardless of your milestones, regardless of your status, you have value. You don't need to reach those milestones in order to work up the hierarchy of value. That's not it. That's not it. It's been told to us through that. And through the Roman Empire, everything was status. Everything was slave or master. This is the hierarchy that was presented in the Roman Empire is what Jesus and Christianity broke down. Male or female, you mean equality? Whoa. Can you believe it? What a rebellious religion to have equality. And no matter if you're poor or the emperor, you are the same in God's eyes. That blew people away. Greeks and Romans were very on earth, very rigid, this is reality. And in comes Jesus Christ saying, yo, chill. Milestones. Now, the truth is that a lot of you will hit these milestones without even knowing it, without working towards it constantly and being anxious about it. It's just going to happen. You're going to find someone, maybe get married and kids, and most people have kids. Most people get married. Most people then pass away. Except one. Jesus out of the tomb. So the reason for my happiness is to focus on the small stuff, because the big stuff comes every so often if you look at the milestone game. So I decide to make the small stuff really big, really meaningful. When I buy a new record for my 1962 Sony made in Japan record player, that's a big deal. That's a big thing. When I learn a new piece of music on the guitar piano, when I look at a tree in the fall, when I went to the beach yesterday after I aced my last exam, it's a big deal. These are beautiful things. Why? So I'd like you to challenge yourself on these milestones and make your own. Make your own milestones during the day. What do you want to accomplish? What would bring you happiness? What small thing have you missed that actually brings you joy? And have you felt guilty about soaking in everything that's here? Because you should be only happy or the happiest when you've reached a certain level of value based on these milestones. Think about it. And depending on your practice of faith, Christianity, it doesn't matter. I wonder what your religious teachers or who you look up to in the spiritual world, I wonder what they say about this. Your milestones and your constant striving for happiness, that one day you'll finally get it. I don't think it works that way. Have a coffee. Have a tea. Enjoy. Play a piece of music. Go for a walk. Go out with friends. Play sports. Soak in the sun. Get a tan. Eat Timbits, but then do some exercise to balance. It's not that hard. Thanks, everyone. Links in the description for all of the things. And I gotta go pack. I gotta get ready for the flight. And I really want to play some guitar today. So I'm gonna do that. Take care, my friends. Love ya. Bye-bye.